What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to bring you a campground that we've been to a couple of times. It's been a few years since we've been there, so we were excited to revisit it and give you guys an updated review. So the campground we visited is Wekiwa Springs State Park, located in Apopka, Florida. This place is pretty awesome. It's a pretty large state park, has swimming obviously there at the springs. The park has 60 campsites.
There are 2 loops there, and sites 1 through 28 are full hookup, and sites 31 through 60 have water and electric hookups. And for this day, we were lucky to snag a site at the last minute. We ended up with site 31.
Yeah, we checked, I say we, I mean Erica. She was on there checking to try to find us a cancellation. We checked actually the day before. It was still booked. She checked the following day. She was very diligent, trying to find us a spot, and actually found an opening, found a cancellation for a couple of nights. So we were over toward the Melbourne, Florida area, so we packed up from there and made our way over to Wekiwa Springs State Park. There is a pretty significant Florida black bear population that lives there. We have never seen one. We saw a track one time. We saw like a bear paw print in the sand, but we've never seen an actual black bear. And
they have notices up saying that bear activity has been in the area lately, but we haven't been lucky enough to catch a glimpse of one.
Yeah, I mean, they're not super common to see, but the neighborhoods that surround that state park they frequently get black bears in them. And you know, maybe one day if we keep coming back there, we'll see one. But it's a beautiful state park. You would never know that this place is just outside of Orlando. I mean, you're minutes from like downtown Orlando area. Very busy. Back there in Site 31 where we were at, you could hear some road noise coming in. There's a road that's just kind of on the other side of the tree line there, so you could hear some road noise. But overall, for being so close to an area like Orlando, it really has a very private feel to it. Also, the loop we were in, the water and electric only loop, that's a very tight loop. We didn't really remember how tight that loop was. We were just excited to get a site there. So the site was long enough for our fifth wheel. We booked it. Once we arrived, we quickly remembered that the reason that we like the loop with sites 1 through 28, they're full hookup, but there's also a lot more room to navigate over on that loop if you're in a bigger rig. We got into our site. It wasn't a huge issue, but we were in the very first site as you come into the loop on the right hand side, so it was pretty easy to get into our site. But had we been further around on one of those other sites, it may have been a different story. It would have been much more challenging to get into some of those sites. So if you have a larger rig, sites 1 through 28 are going to be a lot easier for you to get into.
And in case you don't know, all Florida state parks are golf cart friendly, and when we were there before, we did have a golf cart, and it was a lot of fun riding around, and we saw a lot of wildlife that trip. And you can also take the golf cart down to the spring area.
Yeah, which is a huge benefit. So especially in the summertime, the spring area gets packed out early. As you come into the park, they have barricades up. They have like one way that you can enter the park entrance. You can only come from one direction to turn into the park. They close it off when it gets full. If you're camping there, you can still go down to the springs, but find a place to park would be almost impossible. The springs are a little over a mile from the actual campground, so walking there, I mean, it's doable, but it's a pretty good hike. It's also not a flat walk.
And if you want to take anything down there with you, like any floats, towels, cooler.
And the golf cart was very nice to have because you can find a place to park the golf cart really anywhere down there. So big benefit. If you have a golf cart, absolutely take it with you. If you're planning on driving down there from the actual campground, plan on going early because parking is a premium down there. It's a huge parking lot, but it gets very busy. So a mistake that we made while we were there, our first couple trips there were very short weekend trips. We had no need to leave the campground. This time, for some reason, we decided it'd be a great time to go ahead and make a grocery store run. So I left the campground, and immediately as I pulled out of the campground, I remembered why we didn't want to leave the campground. That one-way entrance they have set up to turn into the state park gets very, very backed up. It was backed up for, I would say, a half a mile when I left. And then coming back, luckily the line wasn't that long to get in, but there still was a very long line. There's no entrance, no way to skip around the line if you're camping there. If you leave, you're gonna get back in that line and you're gonna wait until you get up there and it's your turn to get in the park. So don't leave the campground. If you do leave the campground, do it in the evening time after everybody's done coming in the park. I decided to leave like at 11 o'clock in the morning for some reason.
So he had about a 25-minute wait to get back in.
Yes, it took me 25 minutes from the time I got back in line to actually get to the gate to get in, up to the guard gate, showed them the pass, and they let me on in. But you know, I'm not sure how that would work if the park was full and they were not letting people in. You would have quite a challenge getting back in. I mean, I guess you would have to somehow try to get up there to where the rangers are at the front of the line and tell them that, you know, you're camping there. But I mean, it would be a mess. It would be a mess, and it wouldn't be a fun time. So just don't leave the campground. Just go in the evening. If you're going to leave, just wait until the end of the day and just go in the evening time. Don't go at 11 a.m. That's bad choice.
On a weekend.
On a weekend, bad choice. The spring area of Wekiwa Springs State Park is beautiful. It's big. There's a lot of room for people to spread out. Even though it does get full with the size of it, it does get extremely busy. But usually there's enough room for everybody to kind of spread out. We took a walk down there early in the morning. I say early, it was probably around 9 o'clock when we went down there, so it wasn't busy yet. And man, that would be the time to go, because there wasn't a whole lot of people down there. You could pretty much go wherever you wanted to go. You could get set up wherever you wanted to get set up. So definitely early is the best choice if you're going to go to Wekiwa Springs and actually go to the springs part. So they also have a lot of hiking trails there. Their hiking trails meander back through all the pine trees and way back into the back of the park. Some beautiful hikes. There are black bears there. Again, I don't think they're super common to see. I think they're kind of rare, and the videos that we have seen that people have gotten of them, as soon as the bear realizes they've been spotted and there's somebody there, they take off. They don't really have an interest to being around people. But with that in mind, keep your campsite cleaned up. Don't leave trash out. Don't leave food out, because that's just something that's going to bring those bears in. And if a bear does start coming in like that, that's not going to be good for the bear in the long run. So that's our latest trip to Wekiwa Springs State Park. Wish we would have had a little more time to stay there. We only had a few days, so it was kind of last minute. We didn't really go into the springs. We went down there and checked it out. Didn't actually get in the water. 9 o'clock was a little early to be jumping into the spring water for us. But
well, Dylan put his feet in.
Yeah, he put his feet in and then quickly got back out. But it's definitely somewhere that we would visit again when we had some more time to actually enjoy more of it. But it's a great place to stay, not far from Orlando. So if you're looking for a state park, you like that, that state park feel to your campground, you don't like the RV resort type feel, then Wekiwa Springs State Park is a great place to go. That's going to do it for now. We appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you guys down the road.